going? Welcome to another video. In today's video, we're going over the grasses and the property. What I've been up to for the past week while it's been snowing. So, first I want to show some reference. This is kind of typical for the property. Okay. Now, I've showed this area over here a bunch, and what I've done to it is I've totally basically scalped. So when I was out here doing the property, the floating of the property, which floating means that I set the bucket on float and drive backwards, and the goal of that is to knock down all the sage and give the grass a better shot. So I've been talking about in videos quite a bit about how the grass comes back in the areas that I've disturbed, right? And this is something I've noticed. Well, the actual mechanical function of what's happening specifically to make that happen, I think I finally wrapped my brain around it. And basically I think that it's disturbing the soil and planting the seeds. Now this, I guess I should have showed the soil. Well, I can just tell you, it's just super hard. In between the grass, it's like real crispy, right? So 2 years ago, my first winter here, I insulated my RV with 50 bales of straw. Wheat straw, just randomly wheat straw. Well, it worked great as far as an insulator, but the rodents. So anyway, I got that stuff out from underneath the RV as quick as I could when the spring came on, the first spring, and I piled those straw bales all around this entire area. I just spent all this time today walking around picking up this stuff, and then I just find another one. I'm just going to put it over here. So anyway, I had 50 bales of straw, and I had just dumped them around the edge and then left them. I mean, I was so busy in those first, well, I've been so busy the whole time, but anyway, I was, the first year though, there's another one, I broke the backhoe, doing this actually. I hit a stump, and so the backhoe sat freaking broken for most of the winter and didn't do a thing. And then the amount of work that I like, this hardcore work, this is the time of year to do it, when the ground's wet, covered in snow. When it starts to get dry, even in this time of year, if it's dry, it's just too dusty. It's literally just, it's not good. The damage, the dust that comes up is just more of a problem than it is a benefit. So, oh, there's the donkey. Neighbors have donkeys. They're very nice. So this is the time of year that I have to do it, right? So then this is actually the third winter. So the second winter, I was building stuff like crazy, and I was just finishing up the wind generator. I mean, this is a year ago, so I was doing all that stuff, so I wasn't doing anything with the backhoe much at all, right? Well, I've got motivation to get this all into the best shape that I can while I have the good wet weather. So I have floated, the entire property has been floated. This has been floated about in both directions and around and around and around and around until I could get those bales of hay to break up as much, bales of straw rather, to break up and spread out decently. That took quite a bit of time. The snow, I think, is actually beneficial because, I'm not trying to rip out the grass. Like, I'm trying to do this to the grass. Like, just knock it down into the ground, knock everything down, big piles get burned, and everything else is just gonna, turn into humus, right? So the snow being on the ground protected the ground from getting like super harsh from the backhoe, and like it's very nice. Like, it's big open areas like that were probably where there was like a tree, or maybe like there was big patches of sage that just there was nothing, and then like the ants would get in like the middle of it and literally nothing. So the concept is, the theory is that all this here now is gonna just pop with grass like crazily. Like, there's gonna be noticeable massive amounts of grass starts, because it got all the old grass that's still here, and then all this grass seed that's been trampled down, soaked by the snow, ground into the freaking soil by the backhoe. So I have a bunch of wheat seeds, I guess, and some other grass seeds that I got from Grass and Bend. Like, when I see ornamental grass, I just like whoop whoop whoop, grab some seeds off of it. So I got to get this machine. I'm hoping my neighbor pays me for all this work I did, because there's this machine, or it's not really a machine, it's a piece of equipment that divides rocks out of soil. And I was right this time a year ago. I was in the same, I might even have made a video about it, to be honest, because like that's like the next step, is like getting all these piles cleaned up and processed, the dirt distributed around where I need it, and all these, like, there's literally a pile all the way around the entire perimeter that all needs to be scooped up. I've got the piles pretty much separated into stuff that'll be like good rocks and soil, and then like basically this kind of shit in soil, right? So, and the next step for this is outlining the greenhouse area and the tree lanes, and then it's digging. I'm going to float this all in again. So I'm going to float, once these piles are burned down, I'm going to float it all in the other direction. So I've floated this whole property this way, and then I'm going to float the rest of it all this way. That's just going to destroy this stuff and pull it up even more. And then, I mean, at some point, I'm just going to walk around and go into little areas and just like burn all this stuff. It takes a long time to kind of like pile it up, I mean, by hand, it's a lot of work. Like, I've been working on this one area by hand only, no tractor, and I've been working on it for 2 years now. So it takes forever to do stuff. Now, one of the huge benefits, I could tell that this was an ant area. So one of the benefits of floating the property is I'm just devastating the ants' whole networks of, which I've been devastating them since I've been here with the ant killing buckets and rodents. So I'm gonna get that pile processed, and once that pile in the middle of that field over there is processed, I'm gonna also put up probably maybe like 5 posts for predator birds. So that pile is providing rodents a safe haven. So I'm going to eliminate that pile, spread the dirt out, and then I'm going to put posts up around that field where birds can just sit. Owls, birds, bats, whatever eats mice and rats, right? And I'm going to put those up so hopefully I can get, when I plant that field with all this like wheat and this other grass, and I get all the grasses are coming in there, that I'm not just totally gonna have a freaking explosion, because they love that wheat. Like they go after that wheat, everything, chipmunks, rats, mice, everything, probably even the rabbits, they're all going at that freaking the wheat like crazy. I had huge crops of it all around over here where the RV was sitting, right? I mean, it was growing wheat like crazy. And I just literally watched the rodent population just, come out, and one by one, they'd nibble it down and fall down. And then like sometimes the next day they'd come and they'd eat it. Like they want it down for like a day before they'd eat it. So yeah, the rodents, that's what they eat. So what eats the rodents? Like snakes, freaking coyotes, birds. Like I don't really want coyotes on my property. I don't want snakes either. So that leaves birds. So that's the plan, because I got all this seed and I want to plant it, but I just don't want to basically be, handing a bunch of seed over to the rodents and making it just their lives just that much better. Basically, it's just, it's until I get the fence up that goes all the way around and I get the freaking appropriate animals inside, and they have their time to work to get the rodents out of here, and then they won't be able to come back into here because the fence, that's all the ways away. So what I'm gonna do, but by driving over every square inch of this whole place and floating this whole property, I know I've destroyed countless rodent dens, just crushed them. That's beneficial, and the ants, and then the grass being, so there's a lot of benefits. I'm not sure the backhoe's the best machine for this. I mean, it is the best machine when it comes to versatility, but this specific job, like, it might be a little heavy. Like to get the junipers, or excuse me, the sage out and not leave ruts. But I mean, it is what it is. There's ruts. I wish the backhoe was a little lighter, because I've literally got, the ground is crushed down where the wheels have gone. That's, it is what it is. It's not ideal to compact the soil, but to get it to the level that I want to get it, to have a compact it for a little while, and especially with destroying the ants, the rodents, and just making it where all that grass is being planted and stirring up that topsoil to where there's actual soil, and it's just not like this gravelly substance, right? Like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Peace.